I took a bath, man. I had to lay in that hot water, dog.
You was soaking the tub?
Soaked, man, because my back was hurting so bad, dude.
You soaked in the tub?
You feel that motherfucker as much as it can, you know. Because it's got the jets.
Oh, so do they work?
No, it don't work. So I just lay down, dog, put my feet up against the wall. I fall asleep sometimes, dog.
For real?
Yeah,
fall in and start drowning?
No, I won't drown. I won't call that phone.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
What? That looks good too.
Damn, I look like in church when they gonna break the That's sorry, dog. I ain't even trying to make fun of them.
No, we're not, dog.
But that's what it look like, dog.
We break bread at our church too, man, but not that big, you know.
We took communion at the church.
No wine?
Hey, no, man.
But a cup of wine, they don't do nothing.
If they're listening to the podcast, they know who this is. But we had an actual loaf of bread one time.
Like, cut or uncut?
It was uncut. You just came and grabbed your piece.
Hell no. Really? And you got some honey
butter. Oh, damn. So, that's my flavor catcher.
Yeah.
So, this person that I know, I don't want to disclose who it was, he went out for communion, and he grabbed him a big chunk of bread. And the preacher was like, dang, we ain't gonna make a sandwich. I said, he gonna make a communion sandwich. What's going on? What's going on? Late night fam. We back in the building.
Yep.
Coming to bring you another exciting episode of Late Night Conversations with Unc and Nephew. I am your host, King J, also known as Nephew. And to my left is my co-host,
JR, baby, Big Unc.
What's up, Big Unc?
Shit, hard work, brother.
How you feeling, dog?
Dude, I feel good, except this weather, man, is unpredictable. And, you know, you work in the warehouse, I work in the warehouse. And
oh, yeah.
Production just don't stop because of the weather.
Hell no, the production don't stop.
Production don't stop because of weather. Whether it's raining, whether it's hot, whether it's humid. Today was a rough one for me and that.
For real?
Yeah, I struggled, but I made it.
There you go.
Big Unc's always gonna make it.
I know it's been rough, dog. He ain't lying, dog. Yeah. That warehouse been humid because all the rain we've been getting.
And then this weekend is good. We already in a
flash flood.
Yeah, flash flood. Not warning, but precautionary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they said the storm rolling in from like New Mexico and stuff is gonna hit us pretty hard. Yeah, so hopefully it don't get bad like over there, dog.
Yeah, New Mexico.
I don't got flood insurance.
Yeah. Who does?
I don't think none of us does. Yeah, I don't think we do.
Why would we need flood insurance?
I got an exciting episode planned out for tonight, Unc.
You told me, dog.
So, for those of y'all watching who have been watching with us week to week, man, we really appreciate it. We just want to say thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
If y'all tune in with us, usually we're very consistent on dropping episodes. We actually did take 4th of July off last Friday. So if y'all wondered why we didn't drop an episode,
right?
We did shoot something, but we just didn't. It didn't come out the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, well, our expectations.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little rushed just because we were pressed for time all week, and then it was 4th of July. You were busy all
week. It was 4th of July Friday, and we shot Thursday.
And then the editing, it just didn't feel good. Yeah. So I told Unc, hey man, let's take this week off. Plus, 4th of July, we wanted everybody to spend time with their families.
Yeah. I didn't even listen. I don't think I listened to
anything Friday. Yeah. We were busy all day hanging out with family and stuff, so I didn't get the chance to do anything Friday. So I'm glad we did take a week off. But other than that week off, we're back. So I know we took a week off maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, we took like a little mental break, just a week for rest. We took 4th of July off, but we are back to posting
weekly,
week to week. So if this is your first time joining us on the Late Night Conversations, we just want to tell you, we hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Late Night family. And if you do enjoy your time with us, we just ask that you hit that follow button on whatever platform you're watching on, whether that be Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast from, man. Just give us a follow, drop a like right in that like button. We really do appreciate it. especially our YouTube gang.
Right.
For all those on YouTube, man, if y'all enjoy y'all's time here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and punch that bell in the face so you get notified every time we drop a video. And that's every Friday at 8 a.m.
True.
So, with that being said, let's jump into today's episode.
Psych.
Today's episode is going to be my daughter's anesthesia made her reveal a deep, dark secret. Oh, dog. Today's a creepypasta. If y'all don't know what creepypasta is, it's basically where I read Unc a short horror story. It's a horror story. It's all fake, but it's a good story. I read it to him. We get his general reaction, and then we kind of discuss it afterwards. So,
Right.
If y'all didn't know, that's what we're going to do today. So, man, we hope y'all enjoyed today's content, man.
Buckle up.
So, yeah, y'all be ready. So, let's jump into today's story.
Let's go.
I have 2 children, Nathan, who is 12, and Anna, who is 14. A couple months ago, I took Anna to a private hospital for a procedure to have 4 of her wisdom teeth extracted. Teeth that were well embedded in my daughter's gums, necessitating the use of a general anesthetic. Necessitating, in fact, a visit to an all-hours private clinic. Time was of the essence. Frustratingly, there were unforeseen delays with other surgeries that day. So Anna endured an agonizing wait for what ended up being extremely late surgery, an extremely involved surgery. The extraction of those impacted molars lasted 2 hours all in all and was rather anxiety-inducing for me too.
Can you imagine?
Now, anybody who's seen the aftermath of such a procedure in either reality or the YouTube footage of a sadistic parent knows that it often involves wanky, witty remarks from the recovering patient. And whilst I didn't have a recording phone at the ready, I'll admit that I was hoping for some bizarre wordplay. But my daughter instead uttered something vile. But before I repeat her confession, here's some context. My husband Ed, he used to go white water rafting with our 2 children and his brother Darren. Some years I'd go with them, but work commitments often clashed. Anyway, Ed wasn't a particularly strong swimmer, so I always felt a little uneasy about the idea of him being out on such an unforgiving water without me. In late 2022, my worst fear came true. A strong current pulled my husband under, and by the time Darren had recovered his brother's body, it was too late. Ed had drowned. The following months were unspeakably awful for the entire family, but Anna was affected most severely. To even a handful of words out, she became impossible to deal with. But that didn't stop Uncle Darren from trying to help her.
Right.
From helping the family in Ed's absence to survive mentally and physically. It was no surprise to me when Darren offered to accompany us to the hospital for Anna's surgery. He offered to keep Nathan company whilst my daughter underwent the procedure. And around 11 in the evening, when my daughter woke up from the anesthesia, all those factors were filling my mind. "Hello, darling," I said softly, using a pinky to hoist Anna's sweaty bangs out of her listlessly rolling eyes. "How are you feeling?" My daughter's doped-up face observed me absently, but within the teary pools of her wondering eyes, there sworn thoughts, loose spiraling thoughts of a mind disarrayed, but not disillusioned. I trusted the words which would eventually spill from her puffy cheeks. Firstly, of course, came confusion. "The house looks empty," Anna said in a half muffle, waving both of her hands at the right-hand side of the hospital room on an unlit space lined with empty beds. "We're not at our house, Sweet Pea. We're in the recovery room," I explained. "This is a hospital, remember, though you do have this massive space all to yourself, so I suppose it must seem quite empty," Anna responded incoherently. "Everything's fine. It was a straightforward procedure," I continued. "But you're going to feel a little out of it whilst the drugs wear off, honey." "Where's the man?" she asked in a low, disoriented voice. I smiled. "Dr. Addis? He's doing the rounds, but Joyce is here. Remember her from earlier?" The young nurse, fiddling with various instruments on a trolley, looked up and beamed. "Hello again, Anna. You're being really brave. I'm going to run a few tests now, and I want to let you know if you feel any pain or sickness, okay? No!" Anna interrupted. "The man!" "She must mean Dr. Addis," Joyce teased. I looked at the nurse apologetically. "Sorry." The woman grinned widely and shook her head. Don't be silly, Miss Carey. Anna, I'm sure Dr. Addis will be here soon, but the man, Anna loudly said again. Nathan didn't see him. Sweetie, I began. Then my daughter's wide eyes shot to me, and she slurred a wretched confession. Dad didn't fall into the water. He was pushed. Don't tell Mom. He says he'll kill us if I tell Mom.
Oh.
There followed silence. Silence which pressed heavily against the skin, weighing both Joyce and me to the floor. The nurse clearly felt something in Anna's words too. Something more than the drug-induced nonsense which was what she must have been accustomed. Where is the man? My daughter whispered. And finally I understood that she was not talking about Dr. Addis. Uncle Darren and Nathan were sitting in the waiting room. That horrifying thought circled my mind as I processed Anna's claim. A supposedly nonsensical claim. That's what any rational person would believe, or at the very least, want to believe. However, a memory came to the forefront of my mind. Last year on Christmas Day, Darren made a pass at me.
Oh.
Gin and hormones, Cynthia, my brother-in-law, sheepishly promised after I spurned him. That was all. I chose to accept that explanation, given that our entire family had already been through so much, but my gut never fully settled. Even before my husband's death, something about his brother didn't sit well with me. And my doubt only deepened when Uncle Darren, following Ed's death, forcibly muscled his way into my immediate family, ejected himself into the main artery of our lives.
Right.
Obviously, relatives should be there for a grieving family, but Darren tried time and time again to go above the call of duty. He would turn up at our home, uninvited and unannounced, to take us out for luxurious meals, would incessantly coerce the children into letting him sleep over on weekends. Primarily, he achieved this by manipulating Nathan into thinking that it would be cruel for the children's dear uncle to drive home at a late hour.
Wow.
Worst of all, during these untoward sleepovers, I would occasionally hear footsteps echo from the upstairs landing. Would occasionally see a shadow painting the crack beneath my bedroom door. And from time to time, I would awake in a sweat to find my bedroom door ajar. Once I opened half-sleeping eyes to see a figure sitting on my chair in the corner of the room.
Wow.
I told myself that it had simply been a dream. One fever dream of many, but now I know better.
Creep.
Anna, I feebly whispered. Do you understand what you just told me? Was it true? My daughter loudly shushed me and tried to lift a finger to her lips, but her dozy limb and only half cooperated. We don't speak about it. He says he'll hear if we speak about it. He's always listening. Mrs. Carey, the nurse croaked. Should I proceed? I shook my head, eyes absently boring into Anna's pillow. I don't know what we should be doing right now. Anna, was this a dream that you had? Please tell me that you had this. My daughter interrupted, showing a scar on her forearm. This wasn't from the oar. It was from him. My face turned pale as I eyed the faded scar on my daughter's arm, a scar that Darren claimed Anna had acquired from a raft's paddle after it hit a rock, causing a large, jagged splinter of wood to cut into her flesh. I didn't want to imagine what Darren had actually done to my daughter's arm. Things weren't adding up. As much as I wanted to dismiss Anna's drug-induced story, it made sense. You see, once upon a time, my daughter talked, but she hadn't been that way since her father died. Grief had been the obvious explanation, but that never felt quite right to me. Anna's story, told from that hospital bed, was the truth. I knew that from the moment she spoke, saw it in her tearful eyes. She wasn't aware of herself, wasn't aware that she'd just confessed a dark secret to her own mother. Mrs. Carey, the nurse continued, still seeming uncertain as to what she should say or do. I'm gonna find my son, I said calmly, standing from the bedside chair. Please watch Anna. My daughter's eyes grew as she finally seemed to identify my face.
Right.
Mom? I seized her hand and squeezed. Everything's okay, sweetie. Just let Joyce look after you, okay? Right, everything's okay, the nurse agreed weakly, as if I'd said the words for her benefit. I'll begin these tests now. So I rushed into the corridor and barreled forwards, followed many winding hallways, deserted at that late hour, to find my way back to the waiting area. But I was so lost in my thoughts, so lost in the laces of my Converse that I didn't lift my head up until I'd almost stumbled into the row of blue plastic chairs at the end of the hallway. "Mom?" Nathan asked, swiveling in his seat. "Are you alright? You look weird." I've been too frightened to look ahead. I would have had to plaster a false smile on my face so as to not arouse suspicion from Darren, but there was something far more frightening about seeing my son sitting alone. It was, of course, a blessing to know that I could snatch Nathan's hand and scoot him away without batting a questioning uncle, but it also terrified me. After all, Darren had gone somewhere.
Oh, he wasn't there.
I dragged my son back through the clinic, back along the corridors which seemed to stretch farther than before. I was ready to tear my daughter out of her bed, regardless of the nurse's advice. "Mom, slow down," Nathan pleaded, attempting to wiggle out of my handhold as we rushed towards Anna's room. "Sorry, Nathan," I panted as I shoved the door open, but I didn't finish that thought. The recovery room was alarmingly quiet. Anna's segment, semi-partitioned from the rest of the space by a thick curtain of green fabric, was the only lit section of the large area. Above her bed, a solitary fluorescent light hummed loudly, the only sound in the room. I rushed toward my unattended daughter and cried, "Where's Joyce?" Anna looked at me with teary eyes. "She's here." Rather than unpacking that remark, I pulled the duvet off my half-conscious daughter's robbed body. "We're going home now, Anna. Come on, Nathan, and I will help." My son slipped Anna's limp arm around his neck, and I ran around to the left side of the bed, but before I reached my daughter, I slipped, trainer sole squeaking unbearably on the tiles below. Fortunately, my hand reflexively reached out towards and grabbed onto the green curtain for security. However, I knew I shouldn't have looked down, and when I did, I wish I hadn't. There, starting to stain the lower half of my white Converse, was a pool of red, a pool spreading from a source on the other side of the positioning curtain. This wasn't pulled so far across before, I thought, rubbing the fabric between my unsteady fingers. A thought which only filled my mind because I so desperately wanted a distraction. A distraction from the horror of wading through that gunky liquid, a tainted river that, no matter how shallow it may have been, seemed to resist my feet as they pushed onwards. "Mom," Nathan asked as he helped Anna stand on the other side of the bed. "What happened?" I answered, not with words but heavy breathing, and I lifted my twitching eyes to the curtain. Then, breath held, I tore the green fabric backwards, and the blackened side of the room was revealed once more. 5 shadowy beds with unlit light fixtures above. I don't remember whether I screamed or something as my soul disconnected when I saw what lay on Anna's neighboring bed. The lifeless body of Nurse Joyce. The woman's face and scrubs were drenched with thick layers of blood. Her mouth hung open in a final cry, and her eyes were gone. Gone, not in the sense they had been clawed to ribbons, but in the same sense that they had been plucked cleanly from their sockets. 2 deep blood-filled cavities filled her skull, and her body had been gutted. What remained of the blood in her body was gushing onto the floor, adding to the growing puddle. When I turned my face to my children, I was thankful that Anna's vacant eyes were staring to the corner of the room. However, Nathan quickly saw Joyce's body. In spite of my effort to stand in the way, and he began to cry, beginning to buckle under the weight of his supporting sister. "Look at me, both of you," I cried, nearly slipping in the puddle of blood a second time as I rounded the edge of the bed. "Please." Nathan bawled as I tried to sling Anna's right arm over my shoulder, hoping to escort both of my children out of that nightmare, but my daughter shrugged me off. Before I said a word, Anna pointed a shaking finger at the spot she had been eyeballing, pointed at something past the darkened beds. She might have even tried to say something out of her gauze-filled mouth, jumbled meaningless words. My daughter seemed even less coherent than before, but I trusted her, following her jabbing finger, and when I finally eyed the corner of the room, I saw something worse than Joyce's body. There was just enough light to illuminate the recovering area's vague outline. The 6 segregating curtains had been drawn back to the wall, revealing the full stretch of the room, revealing 5 empty beds and one bearing the nurse's mutilated corpse. But the one light above Anna's bed barely lit a thing. The room was rather illuminated by light pouring through the window on the floor wall, a long glass pane which invited a smidge of moonlight. With moderate squinting, I discerned the outline of an armchair in the corner, a seat partially visible, much like the dark, featureless head rising above its backrest. Somebody was sitting in the darkness watching us. He wriggled like a codfish as his lungs filled with water. Came Darren's voice from the blackness. "But I kept one of his ears above the surface, Cynthia." That way he could hear me explain in great detail all of the things I wanted to do to you. Run! I shrieked to my children as they lunged forward. There came the crying of my son, the door handle squeaking downwards, and a man's broad shoe soles hurriedly beating against the floor, louding as Darren, lost in the shadows, charged towards me. There was no horror, quite like an unseen thing approaching. Then the man hurled his body, flung it as if it weren't even part of him, into me. No matter how monstrous that rag doll he was, at the end of the day, still a man. A heavy-set man with a bulging gut and eyes to match. I was caught so rigidly within his animalistic gaze, which saw me only as prey, that I barely noticed the searing pain in my belly. The agony came, of course, once the adrenaline started to wear off. I didn't mean to kill her, the man muttered, his scentless breath stinging my eyes as he hovered an inch away from my face. Not like Ed. This wasn't part of the plan. We have to go, sweetie. Have to go now. Children or no children, I don't care. There was something horrific about trying and failing to smell the man's breath. Inhuman breath, neither stale nor rosy. That was Darren. Had always been Darren. Why would his breath smell of a thing? He was nothing, an empty vessel. I've always known that. Somehow I just didn't have proof until that dreadful day. Once that horrifying thought abated, realization hit, pain hit. I understood, as my abdomen started to throb, that my brother-in-law had buried sharp steel in my flesh, falling just shy of puncturing my lung. As Darren continued to twist the knife deeper into my gut, causing me to splutter, he lifted his free hand to my hair and brushed it off my ear, a practiced idea of what it means to be human. Something he'd seen me do to Anna, most likely did not understand, and that made me feel sicker, for it proved that the creature before me was no person. But that awful concept also motivated me to plunge my quaking fingers into the back pocket of my jeans. "Don't worry about this," Darren whispered, motioning at the blade in my belly. "I'll take you back to the van quietly. We'll lie low and get you fixed up. I'll tend to you, care for you, just as I have for the past 2 years. I will be better than my weak, pathetic excuse for a halfway through the man's monstrous monologue. I did something which I expected to be the end of me. Powered by the last dregs of adrenaline and blood in my fading body, I swung my makeshift weapon, a set of keys wielded between my 2 middle fingers, and I did not choose a non-fatal mark. I intended to put the monster down. When the keys met Darren's jugular, his flapping lips froze mid-sentence. Then my husband's killer released his fingers gripping the knife, which stayed firmly in my gut, and he moved that hand towards his bleeding neck. Tried to cover the wound as he stumbled backwards and spat droplets of blood in lieu of words.
Crazy.
I moved with his body as he pulled away, fearing what would happen if I were to lose that opportunity. I repeatedly thrust those brass blades into his throat, intending to inflict as much damage as possible, intending to stop Darren from ever hurting my family again. I didn't want him to rot in prison, as I knew I would forever live in terror of him escaping. Finding us, the next time he wouldn't have kept me alive as some plaything. He would have sought revenge, which would have ended me. I know that. Moreover, I wanted Darren to drown as my dear Ed had drowned. And my brother-in-law suffered a worse fate, in fact, as he drowned in his own blood. That's how they explained it to me. They say his airways filled with it. Hardly surprising, given that I stabbed the man 46 times.
What?
I let his neck a mangled, mushy mound of skin and blood. Darren was pronounced dead by emergency responders. Dr. Addis had dialed 911 when my children found him in a nearby corridor and explained the situation. Addis did, of course, immediately rush to Darren's aid. Such was his oath. That was why I ensured that there would be no salvaging my brother-in-law. To let him live would have been a nightmare. Even dead, the man haunts me. I will always hear as I lie in my room at night. Darren's unholy confession of what he did to the love of my life. Will always hear an unspoken confession of what was going. I will always hear an unspoken confession of what he was going to do to me. I will always see him sitting on that chair in the corner of my room.
That is crazy, nephew. That is crazy, man.
Wow, right.
As you're telling the story, my mind's going. At first, I was like, I didn't get who Darren was at first. I thought it was the son, but it was the brother-in-law.
The brother, yeah, the uncle. It was his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ed's
and I'm
brother.
like, dude, I mean, there's things that I was catching, and you know, you hear me say like, "Oh shit" or whatever, you know. But I'm not going to interrupt it. But to that and say, because there's people out there. I've met a pair of brothers, man, that the younger brother married the wife after the brother passed away.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I mean, I know back in the biblical times, you know, you married your brothers as they passed, they could marry the same wife. You know, but
damn, I didn't know that.
This is America, you know. We don't. we don't do that, dog. You know.
Unless you down in
my brother passes and his. I'm not gonna try to sleep with his woman.
Yeah.
She's family. She's my sister, right?
That's a little weird, ain't it? It's just a little strange.
He has some bad intentions, dog. I would, I know it's a story, but I bet you he had more than just death in his mind.
Oh yeah, dog. You got to think he been plotting this. He killed his
2
brother.
Years.
Yeah, he killed his brother. He was just waiting, because if you notice at the beginning of the story, the one time that she didn't go is when he died. He was just waiting for that moment that she couldn't go.
Right. Look, how much fear can you put in a child who doesn't understand?
Yeah.
For 2 years, they kept their mouths shut.
They couldn't say nothing, dog.
They were afraid.
Well, it was Anna, so Nathan didn't see.
But
Nathan didn't see what happened, but Anna did. That's why he threatened her, stabbed her, or cut her, or something.
Yeah, so this is just
like,
just
I'll kill you if you say anything,
this is
bro.
Just a sample.
And that right there is a real horror for a lot of families who go through like domestic violence, or I hate to even bring this up, but like. With him being the uncle, like in cases of where kids are being, SA'd at home by a family member.
See, and because that was what my first thought was. The uncle moving in with a 14-year-old.
That's not good.
It's not. You hear that all the time, and you see it. Just recently here in the 806, they put a dude in prison for 55 years. For SA'ing a family member.
Dude, and that's crazy, bro. I don't believe that when you do something like that to a child, I don't think you deserve to live no more.
No, you don't, dude. I mean,
you know what I mean?
And I know humans and animals are different, but a pit bull, German Shepherd, Doberman, mauls a child.
We put the dog down.
Exactly.
Yeah, they shoot him on sight
because they know that
it's a repeated behavior.
If we keep him locked up, he's gonna escape. He's gonna do it again.
Yeah.
So does these repeat offenders, man.
Exactly.
They know they get 4 years for molesting a child, and 4 years later they're molesting more.
Exactly.
To me it's death.
Yeah, I think that's automatic death penalty. If
it's not death, automatically tell the inmates what he did. I know it's a known. You got to keep it to yourself.
You're not supposed to share.
Share what you're there for. Because we
can solve.
I just saw one earlier today about Chris Watts, man. And it's not true. I looked it up. That they had murdered Chris Watts in prison.
Oh, in prison.
Yeah, but no.
Dog, like, and those talks have always been like, imagine we could solve this problem by, say a man or whatever, a woman or whatever, SA's a child or whatever. Sentence should be however long you gonna give them or whatever, but automatic castration. Cut the torch off.
What are you gonna do with the female? Do what they do to the ones in Africa?
Oh yeah.
When they cut it off, man.
I don't know. The female is a little different.
So they're not promiscuous. I mean, I don't know, dog.
Yeah, that is a little different. That is a hard topic.
But that was my first thought when you were telling the story.
Yeah, you were thinking it's gonna be something like that.
With the daughter, that's why she. That's why when she woke up out of this out of being under, she's like, maybe she's been thinking of a way of letting her mama know.
Right. And here, because when you're on anesthesia, the truth comes out.
Yeah. So are we really thinking that she was under, or is she just portrayed? There's some smart 14-year-olds out there. She pretend. Because I've never woke up. I've had numerous surgeries. Never woke up to where I do crazy things or say crazy things.
Right.
You know, so I don't know what that is.
And I guess everybody's different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like everybody reacts different. Like when I had my surgery, I woke up and just woke up.
Yeah, me too.
You just woke up.
Yeah.
But when my wife had surgery on her wisdom teeth, she kind of had some funny stuff to
Really,
say.
dog?
Not like funny.
Yeah, not TikTok style, but
She thought her lips were missing. But like she just kept asking Bub, she's like, "Are my lips still here?" He was like, "Yeah, Mom, your lips are still there."
That's
like,
crazy, dog.
Yeah, but other than that,
yeah, but
she
you know what
was
I'm saying?
good.
So maybe that's, I know it's a story, but
like I've heard that like people be like under anesthesia, they come out of it and they're like, "Man, I've been like," have you ever seen the videos, bro, where they be coming out of anesthesia? I know one of them was like he was like, "Man, I've been smoking weed, boy." Like they be like
the
they
funniest one I
make
seen was that chick that was in the wheelchair going from doing her teeth, and she was like, "What was it? I'm choking. I'm
yeah.
you know
on
what
a
I mean?
big black, yeah.
That shit. Can you imagine, dog? What your mama would say, dog? Or not you person, but like her mom's like,
what the hell? Like, but it's just like, dog, that's crazy. Like the stuff that they say, but like to your question, I don't think she planned it. I think maybe the anesthesia was wearing off, and I think it just came out because sometimes when you're under, you come out of anesthesia, secrets come out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was like the truth serum, like they have, you know what they say.
But the thing is what was how did the Uncle Darren? How did he know that was happening? Or
maybe he just said, "This is my opportunity." So he wanted to kill the mama because he stabbed her.
Well, he said that he was going to take her back to the van, patch her up, and take care of her.
So he was really in love with her.
I think he was losing control. Maybe the secret came out, but where would he hear it at?
It was like they
Maybe
said,
he was already in the room waiting, or I don't know.
Well, it was a big ass room, and there was nobody in there, and it was dark. How long had him been sitting in that chair?
He probably was there the whole time. Maybe, yeah.
And Darren, the little boy, or what's his name, Darren? Nathan. He's sitting in the lobby by himself for the past hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe he was in there the whole time.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing about this. At first, I was thinking it was gonna be paranormal.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe her dad was talking to her from the grave.
Yeah, from the grave. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, but then it turned out to be, oh wait,
so different.
The uncle was actually the one who killed her dad. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, dog. And but bro, that's a good topic though.
You know,
because I got a question for you. This was gonna lead into, I was thinking it was gonna lead into paranormal, but man, I've been talking to these dudes at work.
Yeah.
And a question came up because he had reacted to what we were talking about, ghosts and stuff.
Right.
And so I had a question. So check this out. Do you think? Because we were talking about how ghosts. I was like, man, what if ghosts are demons? Right. I had brought that question up. But honestly and truly, do you think ghosts are... Do you think they were aware that they're ghosts? Or do you think maybe they died and they're just reenacting their death over and over again?
Like
or they're they're stuck. They don't know that they're dead.
Right.
That's the question. I'm curious.
I'm thinking, nephew.
Because I believe in ghosts, and you believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen things,
right?
Heard things, felt things.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes I think maybe they're in what's that word I'm looking for? Not heaven or hell.
Purgatory.
Purgatory. Maybe Earth is purgatory for demons or
like in the spiritual
world. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and you're allowed to roam and see what you're missing. I mean, because in purgatory, you gotta wait for the rapture. You gotta wait for his coming,
right?
Before he decides what he's gonna do with you,
right?
He hasn't decided what he wants, you know. So he's gonna let you. I don't know. Maybe.
So you're kind of like a lost soul.
You're a lost soul.
Like, you're like a lost soul that doesn't have a destination.
Some of them just get meaner and meaner because, like you said, they don't know they're dead.
So they're mad.
They're getting worse and worse.
So maybe they're trying to... See, I've thought about that. What if ghosts are just mad because they're trying to communicate with people like...
But they can't.
But nobody sees them.
There's only certain people that they can communicate with, but until like
maybe that's why they push chairs and they move stuff.
Like ghosts. until they found Whoopi Goldberg, who could hear him.
Who can hear him? See, that's why I was just thinking about, dog. I was having a conversation with this dude at work, and I'm like, because why are ghost stories always like they were messing with the radio? They moved a chair. They slid a glass.
They're trying to give us a message.
Are they trying to like communicate with us,
right.
or you get what I'm saying? Could that be it? But we can't see them.
But maybe my purgatory story is a little far fetched. I don't know. But I mean,
we don't know.
Purgatory for the
ghosts, for the dead,
for the dead, for the unliving that haven't gone to heaven or hell.
Because I guess it just depends. But some Christian people believe. Like most Christians believe that when you die, you immediately either go to heaven or hell.
Right.
Because of why, right? The Bible story of why Christians believe that we go straight to heaven.
So you're going to put me on the spot.
No, you're good, because I can tell you why. Okay. I just was curious as you knew. So in the Bible, when Jesus was getting crucified, you remember the two people on the cross that were to the left and right of him.
The murderer and the thief.
Yes. So one of them was mocking Jesus. Oh, if you're Jesus, if you're the Son of God, you can lift yourself off this cross, this and that, this and that. And the other one was like, you fool.
He didn't know what he was doing it for.
Okay, right. Okay, but see, check this out. The other one was like, you fool, like, can't you see this man is the Son of God and stuff like that? And he told him, Father, or he told him, Jesus, I only ask that you remember me.
I remember that.
Just remember me in the day of paradise. And Jesus looked at him and he said, assuredly I say unto you, you will be with me. In other words, when you die, you will be with me in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Because of his faith.
So that's
why Christians believe that when Jesus told him that was an example of like, when you die, you either go to heaven or hell. You go straight. I mean, that's kind of the interpretation I've got.
That's good. Yeah, and that's right.
Because he was saying you don't have to wait.
Like that, and I guess I never heard that story quite like you just told me.
Right.
But that makes a lot of sense.
Right. Yeah, because he didn't have to wait.
Jesus had power. The angels had power.
Yeah.
They were waiting for the word.
The scripture said that so many legions of demons, like 60 legions or something like that.
I don't know.
So many legions were at the perch of heaven,
just
waiting for Jesus to say the word, and they would have destroyed all of earth.
They couldn't take what Jesus
was
going through. They're like, God, give me the word. I'll destroy this earth because of what they're doing to my God. And
all Jesus had to say was,
my Father.
Do it, but he sacrificed. He did a sacrifice for us. But see, that's what I'm saying.
That's a good story. So
that's the example of like, he's like, no, you don't have to wait, because today, the day you die, you will be with me in paradise.
Right.
So that's why a lot of Christians believe.
And that's not out of content, Mijo. That's not, because I know a lot of people take words like that out of content.
Out of context. Yeah.
Context.
Yeah.
Content. Context. They use it for something else.
Yeah,
but that makes so much sense.
Right.
You're once you die, you're with me. As long as you're a Christian.
Not a Christian.
No, not a Christian.
No, just as long as you're a believer.
Believer.
Yeah. At least you're saved or whatever. Right. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, that's why some Christians have a hard time believing in ghosts, because they're like, no, when you die, you either go here. But
how can you explain a cross turned upside down by itself when you was watching? Oh Lord, I gotta get out. The house tells you get out.
Or like even the things
what was that comedian said? Man, people living in houses with ghosts, and I'm living in a house and it says get out. And he'd be like, man, why couldn't you tell me that 2 months ago before I bought this house?
Not for real, man.
If there's a ghost, let me know before I sign the contract.
Yeah. Let me know you're here. Oh, sorry, brother. I ain't even gonna buy this house.
No, back in it's a serious note. I do believe in them. You believe in them, man. I mean,
I don't know if we've actually
seen something really, really demonic.
Oh, I have. I've seen somebody possessed. I can save that story for another podcast. But I will tell you.
But I do know that I've seen things that are unexplained.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, that just did not happen.
Yeah.
That did just not happen.
Yeah.
Because by the time your mind, you fathom what you just saw, it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you just...
Like in a blink of an eye.
And you can also lose that memory. I'm like, that didn't happen. And you're trying to forget it, but at the same time, you're like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You're like, No way.
You're like, there's no way that moved on its own, or like you said, in the old house that you stayed in, TVs turning on and off, changing channels by themselves, dude. Like radios going up and down. You're like, bro,
when your dog is just going berserk, and he won't listen to your commands, and he's focused on something
like
that
on
you can't see. Yeah. This was a little Chihuahua, and he was like, just could not stop looking at the corner. I couldn't see nothing. I'm just like, what do you want? Not like
what do you want? Yeah. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. Not like that, but I'm like, what do you want? And then that's when my dog snapped out of me.
You saw the shadow figure.
I've seen shadows just disappear.
Yeah.
Not like people think like a mist. There's no mist. It's like
it's literally like a shadow. Like
shadow, and it's just gone.
It's always a peripheral thing.
Yeah.
That's why people always say ghosts. Like, man, you never see a ghost just straight up.
How you talking about at work that you see from peripheral?
Like shadow people walking from the side?
I be at work, and I'm constantly doing like this, man, because I don't know what it is, nephew. But for this past week,
You've been seeing something walk, but...
No, he's standing beside me.
Oh, damn.
I'm like... people see me sometimes, I'm starting to talk to these people more and more, because, it's a lot of migrants or whatever. And, but I'm constantly looking over my left shoulder, man, because I feel something.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing, but I feel like they're looking at me.
Like somebody's standing there.
But I'm not going to say it's a ghost. I'm not going to go that far. I do know that things have happened at this warehouse that are, once again, unexplained.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like saws going, like a saw going by itself, unplugged. I mean, we didn't see it.
Damn,
we didn't see the saw. We heard it, and we're all in the break room. And this was during our break, but we didn't have any other workers, just workers from the company.
Right.
And we're all in the break room. And then my boss walks in, and we thought it was him that was doing it. He's like, no, I just came around the corner. I just got my food for, I just walked in. Then it's unexplained, unexplained.
Damn,
that's but lately this week, I really have. I don't know if it's my subconscious. I'm thinking of, I'm going through a lot of mental things right now in my mind. That,
so you're like, maybe your brain is
overstimulated. Yeah, overstimulated because I'm just at work thinking and trying to focus, and then we've been so busy that, I'm just overworking my body. Maybe my mind is putting me, hey, it's telling me, hey, don't take that energy drink or start taking some type of supplement.
Right.
Mental supplement. I went to go look at some brain.
So you look at some brains.
Right. I went to go look
at the black market.
Dude, I need that brain in mine because mine don't work.
That's why you were looking at it.
Yeah. I need to trade this in. What can I get for it?
Yeah, what can I get for this brain? I need a new one.
I was at Walmart looking at the supplements, man, for memory and stuff, man.
For focus?
Yeah, I want to buy, man. They'd be like $75. Come on, dog.
I feel like anything.
But it is worth it if it works. See, that's why I don't want to buy something that I haven't researched. I see some, and I'm like, I'm not a believer in TikTok.
Yeah.
Man, people are selling. Well, I might
on the TikTok shop.
Bluetooth's all right. But
I know Bluetooth works for sure.
Him is good too, but
Oh damn! Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame.
But supplements,
for cognitive and for brain memory,
brain fog,
stuff like that.
Because my memory is short, dog. I have short-term memory loss.
Yeah,
dude, I just can't. Sometimes I'm like,
that's why when you get older,
I do a lot of pencil writing, a lot of numbers. My work is numbers. Everything is numbers, repetitive, man. And sometimes my boss comes, "What is that?" I'm like, "Shit, it looks like an F." Probably should be a 4. Yeah. So sometimes I've been looking for something, man, but I don't know what to tell you. What do you recommend?
Man, I don't know. I will say that. Watch. Let me.
You know what? I'm going to tell you that one of my coworkers gave me we were talking and she's like, here, and I just opened the candy and I put it in my mouth. It's like a soft type jelly candy, right?
Right.
So I was eating. I'm like, man, it's got a good flavor, like a little spice. Then I felt a little tingle in my lip. So I grabbed the wrapper, and of course I wear reading glasses to work. Some type of ginger gummy.
Oh yeah,
dude, it was so delicious. But I didn't ask her,
what it was for. Yeah,
and I think that day I was more alert. I'm not saying that's what it was for. I don't know. Maybe it's like I said. Maybe it's my mind working overtime.
Dog, I will say this: you drink a lot of energy drinks,
not as much as people
like
think.
as you used to. Yeah. No, but I'm saying a lot of times that overload in caffeine can jack your brain up.
Well, and I think that's what happened this afternoon because I really, really wore myself out today.
Yeah,
it's like if I had like I was on a sugar rush all day, and that's because I never have a energy drink for breakfast, and I did this morning.
Yeah.
So after lunch, I think it crashed on me, not realizing. And dude, I struggled the last hour and a half, 2 hours, man.
Because your body gets used to a large amounts of caffeine.
Right.
So when you don't intake on a daily basis,
right,
it jacks you up. Your body craves
that's all I had
caffeine.
Was just that one Monster.
And I will say,
I drink 4 cups of coffee.
Damn.
At work.
That's quite a bit. Well, coffee's a little bit better though,
right?
Because it's more natural. Well, it depends if you're drinking it black.
Oh no.
See, you're adding creamer and sugar.
I do, and I don't. I do like black coffee, depending on what brand.
I will say this.
The brand we have at work, it's getting creamer and sugar.
I will say this. She's like, I don't know what
I don't like no bitter coffee.
That ain't no Folgers.
Yeah. Well, I got some Folgers instant.
I will say this, because you asked me about, because this is something I was doing whenever I changed my diet, whenever I underwent that surgery.
Right.
So, if you're wanting good brain health foods, like this is all natural, dog. Anything that's like a fatty fish, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, bro. Like salmon, bro, tuna, things like that, bro. If you have fish bro, most people don't realize how important fish is in your diet. Right. Why you think in the Bible, bro, all they ate was fish back in the old days?
Protein and
berries, bro, blueberries, strawberries, things that are packed with antioxidants. Those are very good for your brain. Right. Nuts. Do you eat nuts on a daily basis?
I used to until my teeth gave out. But
trail mix, good nuts, walnuts, almonds. Leafy greens, bro. Like people don't understand.
The greens I like is
spinach, kale,
baby spinach. I don't like canned spinach. Period.
Yeah. No, well, this was like natural spinach, like kale, stuff like that. Things that contain vitamin K, because those are good for cognitive function, bro.
Okay.
Whole grains, brown rice, eggs are really good for brain health, for brain function. Avocados, bro. Most people don't realize avocados are really good.
Bro, you know what I eat for lunch almost on a daily? It's either a cup of soup, the cup of noodles or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
A ramen, fake ramen.
Yeah.
Or a cup of shrimp and rice.
Yeah.
They put in the microwave. Or it's either McDonald's, Burger King, something like that. Or Austin's burritos. And I know that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But it's not. I don't eat it so consistent that it's put me back.
All the time?
That it's put me back to 250 plus pounds.
Right.
Because I know I can eat it off. I can work it off when I eat. But I don't feel good. When I eat
you eat that kind of stuff,
I don't want to go back to work.
Yeah,
I make myself go back to work. And after a while, once it digests, I'm okay.
Yeah,
but it is true because I've taken salads before and I've taken fruits before. My problem is, I say I don't have time, but I do.
Yeah.
To prep meal prep.
Oh yeah.
That's my problem. If I just meal prep, because we get an hour for lunch.
Oh, you good?
I can sit in the microwave, sit in the break room, then go to my truck and then smoke a cigarette. That's another problem.
Yeah, that's not good for brain function either.
Trying to stop that.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, man, it's those kinds of things. There's little changes here and there, man. Yeah. Like in how you eat. And then, of course, them vitamins are good.
Right.
Shoot, those are good. Well, I heard turmeric is good, too, for brain function.
Right.
But other than that, we're just, I don't know why we even got on health.
I know. We were talking about ghosts and we ended up here. But the only thing I can do is probably go to a vitamin store because if you go to Walmart, you ain't got nobody to help you. All you see is this shelves of
vitamins and stuff.
You just like
what do I take?
I'm not gonna buy it.
But just look it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But going back to
but all that
what
to
started
say,
was me looking on my shoulder.
And to finish off, because we're at a good stopping point, man. We've been a good stopping point. But to finish off everything we've said, I do have a feeling that ghosts, maybe they just don't know that they're dead. And they're trying to communicate with us like normal. And they're like, what the hell? Why don't they listen to me?
That's what I said. That some of them.
And maybe they're so frustrated.
They do crazy things. Or maybe, like I said about the angels,
yeah.
the demons say, you know what? I want that old lady or I want that old man. They're not going to heaven. I'm going to keep them with me. And then, let's say a demon possesses a ghost. What do you think about that?
See, that's what I was just about to say. What
Can a demon
could it possess a ghost?
To
Maybe
where makes him like The Conjuring.
Or maybe not so much that they possess a ghost, but they use a ghost spirit to hide behind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could be a part. Maybe demons use ghosts as the.
We just got to go somewhere where they have demons, though.
Nah, hell no. I don't
Not demons, but you know, like the hotel in what is it? What Brandon said?
Dog, we
San
didn't take a
Antonio,
trip. Yeah.
or Fort Worth,
or we can go
Dallas.
to. We can take a trip to the St. James Hotel. That one's haunted too, dog.
Right.
Over there in Cimarron, New Mexico.
But you can't. But you can't sleep in that room, can you?
Yeah, if you rent.
Oh no.
If you rent a night.
Oh no. I want to see from afar.
I just want to look during the day. Yeah, we got to go during the day.
No, Brandon said that. I would have to ask Brandy.
Yeah.
Which hotel it is where you can't sleep in there.
There's at that one.
Too many people get hurt.
Yeah, see, at that hotel, in St. James Hotel, there's one room you can't stay in. It's locked off because they said the ghost is too violent.
Too violent, yeah.
You know, they scratch you and all kinds of stuff.
Changing the subject a little bit. If you had an opportunity to go live for, let's say, a year, they told to places where you're by yourself, no phone, no internet.
Right.
Oh no, you have your phone. You can't call nobody and have internet, but you got a year to live by yourself for so much money. Could you live by yourself for a year with no human contact?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, look, me, I've been by myself for many years, and sometimes when you're in the room, a lot of thoughts come into your mind, nephew.
Oh yeah, exactly, exactly.
As which not always good.
Yeah. Facts.
Because.
Some people aren't comfortable being by themselves,
right.
Like in their mind. They use
with no human contact.
They use other people to drown out their own thoughts sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I think a year
sometimes
without
you
human
see
contact.
people with mentality rather want to be in a conversation or want to be around people.
Who
get away out of their mind.
Exactly. You know who would? My dad. My dad
you
could
think
do
he
it. Hell yeah. Well, my dad is a rock.
A year is a long time.
That's a long time, but he a gangster.
I've done it, for let's say a week. COVID was crazy. How many people
were isolated for 14 days straight?
4 days, and then
you know what?
Essayed and domestic violence and.
I will say this: I think it would be hard for a year straight, no human contact. I don't, man. I may not be able to do it.
Everything's provided, food,
I don't crave human contact, but it does feel.
We do
good.
crave it, nephew.
Well, yeah, I guess we do crave it. But I guess
I know that we changed subjects, but it was something that popped in my head real quick. When we're talking about.
That's a good way to end the podcast. That's a good question. What about y'all, man? In the comment section, if y'all can,
could you live?
Could you live
without human contact?
Could you live if they paid you? Say
$100,000.
No, it gotta be more than that. Hell no.
$100,000 do me good right now.
Say for $1 billion.
$1 billion, that's a little far-fetched.
That's a little far-fetched.
Yeah, maybe $1 million.
But what we're asking is kind of far-fetched. A year, no human contact.
No human contact, dog, yeah.
$1 billion. They pay it up to you up front. You can buy whatever you want, but you're on an island.
For you up front,
say you're on an island by yourself, and they supply all the necessities you need, food, water, entertainment, whatever you want, but just no human contact for a year. Could y'all do it? I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is tough, man. But that is something to
I don't think I could. To be real,
I'm pretty sure I couldn't. I mean, I crave.
I need it.
Yeah. So.
Nah, facts, man. Well, today was a good episode.
It was good, that was one crazy story that led to a lot of things. To a lot of crazy things in this episode.
A lot of just crazy,
because the story had me one point thinking some way, and then ended up being something else. Which is us. Our conversations start here and then finish
they end
off
up
there.
somewhere crazy.
Yeah, because that's late night conversations. That's people don't understand. This is what we do when we're not recorded.
Podcasting. Yeah. If we just recorded ourselves all the time,
man,
we'd have endless episodes.
if we didn't have jobs, we could do that. But
Hell yeah,
we
bro.
both got jobs. We're real people.
Hell yeah, man.
But no, it was good, nephew. I really enjoyed this episode.
And it was awesome, man. I had a good time tonight.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed the story. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all's time with us tonight. If y'all stuck this far, we do appreciate y'all, man. We really do appreciate it. It's such a blessing to have fans that actually enjoy our content. It's something I didn't think we were capable of, but man, it's happening right before our eyes.
Right.
So yeah, man. If you don't got nothing else, son,
I just wanted to say to the people from Kerrville, from Texas, we love y'all. We're praying for y'all. People from New Mexico, we love y'all. We're praying for y'all. Texas is, we're Texas strong. I'm sorry, we're not in a position to go help, but we are praying and we are.
Facts. Our thoughts and prayers are with y'all guys, man. Anybody who's lost family, during this tragic time with this flooding, man, we hope that everything turns out for the better of y'all, man.
Big Unc and nephew King J, we love y'all.
Exactly. Like Unc said, our goals is to help out where we can if we can. So, man, our hearts and prayers go out to y'all. For sure, anybody who's affected by this flooding, we hope everything
we love y'all. We hope everything
turns out, in the better light for y'all guys.
Right.
So
we hope that your mind can rest, because I know how it is to lose a family member, and it really hurts. But
exactly,
hey, we love y'all.
Thoughts and prayers are going out to y'all for sure. But other than that, Unc, man, I'm good to sign off, man.
Great episode.
Yeah, that was a good episode, man. Thank y'all for sticking around for another exciting episode of Late Night Conversations with Unc and Nephew.
Right.
And until next week.
Peace.
Peace.